Brilliance Audio presents The Coordinates of Loss by Amanda Prowse, performed by the author. Chapter 1. Rachel always thought it felt like a gift to wake up smiling. Today was no different. She stretched her tanned arm over her head and took a deep breath, considering that this, the gentle rocking of a boat, was quite possibly the best alarm clock in the whole wide world. Her mind flitted to the cold winter mornings of her youth, when her dad whistled through the flimsy bathroom wall as he shaved, rain beating on the double-glazed picture windows, and the smell of toast wafting up the stairs of her mum and dad's flat-fronted 1970s house. It had been a struggle to heft her body from the warm nest of duvet that covered the dip in the mattress where she liked to curl. A struggle and a chore, the promise of a loo floor, chilly underfoot, and the long walk to school along grey pavements, avoiding the spray from speeding lorries, no real incentive to get on with the job. This morning, she nestled back onto the soft mattress and took another deep breath that developed into a yawn. Slowly, she opened one eye, closing it again quickly. Sunlight filtered in from the hatch above their bed in the rear berth, warming the air into a pleasant fog that cocooned them in this tiny space. There was something unique about sleeping like this, in a boat, out on the ocean. It felt like an island, an oasis away from the pace of real life, away from everything. Safe and sound, away from traffic, machinery, people, and all the things that might bring them harm. It was as close to heaven as she could imagine. It always took her one night to settle into the pace of life on the boat, and as she lay there, after the first night of 3 out at sea, she knew she had arrived. The rest of the trip stretched out ahead of them like a promise, and she could barely quell the leap of happiness in her gut. What's on the agenda for today? Spot of fishing, swimming, more swimming, supper on the deck, maybe a bottle of fizz or a cold beer as we watch the sunset. She smiled and turned onto her side, running her finger over the strong tanned back of her husband. "I'm not prepared to wake up yet, so you can cut that out." James groaned in the groggy voice she knew meant that they had gone one bottle too many in the champagne stakes last night. She laughed her throaty chuckle. "I told you we should call it a day after that first bottle. But no." She leaned forward and kissed his skin. "Come on, life is for the living, that's what you said." "You win. You were right, but that doesn't help me right now," he moaned. "Plus," she flicked her long chestnut hair over her shoulder and sidled against him, lifting her leg and wrapping it around both of his as she pulled against him. "You should be glad I still want to disturb your beauty sleep in this way after 8 years of marriage." "I am glad," he whispered. "But can you let me show you how glad after a bit more sleep? Just 5 more minutes." "It might cure your hangover," she suggested, kissing the back of his neck and running her hand over the flat of his stomach, reaching down. "Is the door locked?" He turned and lay back on the bed, glancing at the varnished oak door. "I can see you're not going to take no for an answer." "That's right." She nodded and climbed onto him, bending to kiss him full on the mouth. This beautiful man she got to wake up next to every day. "Coffee?" She yawned again, slipping on her vest and calf-length cotton PJ bottoms, as James sat on the side of the bed and scrolled through his phone. "Oh, yes, please, and lots of it." "How's your hangover?" she asked cockily. "Gone, would you believe?" He smiled at her over his shoulder, before something on the screen caught his attention. "Remember the rule, no work while we're out here, this is family time." "I'm looking at the footy scores." He flashed her the screen and poked out his tongue, happy to have proved his innocence. "I'll let you off." Rachel fastened the white cotton waffle robe around her midriff and opened the door, treading the single step down into the quiet cabin. She had half expected to hear the zany burble of cartoons coming from the wall-mounted TV, or at least the canned laughter from one of the Nickelodeon programs that seemed to be permanently playing on her son's iPad.